Welcome to virtual class, Board of Intermediate Education, Andhra Pradesh. I am Nalli Ravi Kumar, Junior Lecturer in English, VT Junior College, Rajamandri. I am going to discuss the first prose piece from Intermediate Second Year English. The title of the essay is Of Studies, written by Francis Bacon. Dear students, before going through the text, I would like to give you the brief biography of the writer Francis Bacon. Here it is, the image of Francis Bacon. So Francis Bacon was a great philosopher whose works hold great academic credibility even today. Bacon was also a statesman and best known for his promotion of the scientific thought. He was regarded as the father of English essay. So Francis Bacon was born into a prominent wealthy family in London, England on January 22, 1561. Bacon's father was Sir Nicholas Bacon, who held the powerful government position of Lord Keeper of the Great Seal of England. His mother was Annie Cook, a scholar, translator, and holder of strong Puritan beliefs. Bacon studied at Cambridge University and at Gray's Inn. Let's see about his political career. After his studies at the age of 23, Bacon became a member of Parliament. He was knighted in 1603. Like his father, he was appointed as the Keeper of the Great Seal of England. Later, he was appointed as Lord Chancellor, the most powerful position in England. Here it is, the well-known quotation from Francis Bacon himself. The desire of power in excess caused the angels to fall. The desire of knowledge in excess caused man to fall. This quotation is well apt for his personal life. Bacon was charged by Parliament with accepting bribes, which he admitted. Bacon was fined, imprisoned, and then banished from the court. Later, he was pardoned by the king, considering his services to the Parliament. He retired to his home at Gorhambury in Hertfordshire, where he continued to write. He died in London on 9 April 1626. Bacon was popularly known as father of empiricism. Empiricism is the theory that all knowledge is based on experience derived from the senses. Bacon's real interest laid in science. His works argued for the possibility of scientific knowledge based on inductive reasoning. He organized knowledge into three groups: history, poetry, and philosophy. He studied them from the point of view that information is processed through memory, reason, and imagination. Dear students, here are some of the writings of Francis Bacon. Bacon published his scientific ideas in Novum Organum. His first collection of essays were published in 1597. His another work on science is called Advancement of Learning, which was published in 1605. His best known works include New Atlantis, a science fiction novel, and Wisdom of the Ancients. Bacon was popularly known as the father of English essay. Bacon sponsored the new literary form, the essay in English, with the publication of 10 essays in 1597. His essays are called Counsels, Civil and Moral. To English literature, his essays are priceless acquisitions. Bacon's essays are rightly remarked as the classics of English prose. Most of the lines from his essays have always been acclaimed as immortal quotes. They are capsules of impersonal wisdom. They may not give immediate pleasure, but give lasting guidance. They are objective and logically constructed. Okay, friends, now I am going to explain very interesting and very popular essay of Studies by Francis Bacon. For better understanding of the text and understanding the writer's point of view, you have to read the text at least twice, I mean 2 times. While reading, you may find some difficult or new words. Look up for the meanings of those words in a standard dictionary. Okay, students, this is the text of Studies by Francis Bacon. Follow the lines while I am reading. Open your textbooks. Either you can open your textbooks or follow the lines on the screen if it is clearly visible. Here it is, how the text begins. Studies serve for delight, for ornament, and for ability. Their chief use for delight is in privateness and retiring. For ornament is in the discourse, and for ability is in the judgment and disposition of business. For expect men can execute and perhaps judge of particulars one by one, but the general counsels and the plots and marshalling of affairs come best from those that are learned. Of Studies is one of the most quoted essays of Francis Bacon. In this essay, he has analyzed the importance of studies. Therefore, he convinces his readers to know its vitality. By studies, it need not be interpreted as education. It is about books and reading, book reading, taking into mind what you read and its process. He does not only talk about bookish knowledge but also demonstrates the importance of experience. Without experience, the studies cannot help a person. Moreover, he says that studies and education are two separate things. However, he agrees that education is the name of studying books and experiences of life. The essay of Studies answers some common questions that arise in every common mind. For instance, it answers, why should we read books? What are the impacts of studies in one's life? Why study without experience is useless? And many other such questions. Let's see answer for all these questions going through the lines. Studies serve for delight, for ornament, and for ability. This is a formal essay. It opens up an intellectual discussion. The essay is full of wisdom and it lays out the value of knowledge in particular terms. The essay deals with some of the uses of study and offers some sound ideas relating to this theme. According to Francis Bacon, there are three benefits or uses of studies. Studies serve three purposes. The first one is delight, the second one is ornament, and third one is ability. For studies, it delights you. It serves as an ornament and it enhances your ability. Let's see how he elaborates their meanings. In Bacon's times, people had no other option except to rely upon books. Books are only the source of entertainment. Their chief use for delight is in privateness and retiring. When you are alone, getting relaxed, reading gives you delight. Delight means happiness or enjoyment. Bacon felt that people should delight in knowledge for its own sake. The pleasure of studies can be enjoyed by a man leading a life of aloofness and retirement. For ornament is in discourse. For ornament is in discourse. The second purpose that studies serve is ornaments. Ornaments. Ornaments means decoration. A person, after learning from books, can present himself in a good manner. Studies also help a person learn etiquette. His societal impression is improved and he becomes wise in the eyes of people. However, in this essay, Bacon has used only one word to explain ornament, that is, discourse. Studies increase speaking power of a person. The word discourse has many meanings: professional discourse, religious discourse, motivational discourse. Here, the author is talking about impressive discourse in every field of life, whether it is a profession, religion, or any other area. And third one is ability. And for ability is in the judgment and disposition of business. I repeat, and for ability is in the judgment and disposition of business. The third purpose of studies is judgment and disposition of business. It is somewhat professional. Studies can help a person in dealing with business matters. Thereby, studies support a person in professional life. A well-read person or trained in certain line of a business will improve judgment of things. He acquires ability to handle the business matters successfully. His vision becomes strong and he takes quick as well as accurate decisions in business matters. For expectment can execute and perhaps judge up particulars one by one, but the general counsels and the plots and marshalling of affairs come best from those that are learned. People who are expecting certain things or people who have innate ability to execute things can manage quite well or do their jobs with ease. When it comes to marshalling of affairs, it means that managing things or organizing. The best is done by them, those who are well educated or well read people. Okay, students, let's have a glance at the first part of the essay. In the first part of the essay, Bacon gives us functions or uses of studies. Studies are a source of pleasure in privacy, retirement, or aloofness. Some people gain knowledge for pleasure because they enjoy it. The second use of studies is it has ornamental value in conversation or interaction. Some people gain knowledge for decoration. They try to better themselves by bragging about their achievements and accomplishments. And the third one is it adds to one's ability. Okay, let's continue reading the text. To spend too much time in studies is sloth. To use them too much for ornament is affectation. To make judgment wholly by their rules is the humor of a scholar. They perfect nature and are perfected by experience. For natural abilities are like natural plants that need pruning by study, and studies themselves do give forth directions too much at large, except they be bound in by experience. Here, the writer goes on another aspect of studies. In the first part of the essay, he gives us the uses of studies. In this part, he gives disadvantages, demerits, or defects of studies. To spend too much time in studies is sloth. Sloth means laziness. Let us see meanings for difficult words in this part. Sloth means laziness, affectation, behavior or speech that is designed to impress others, or false display. Pruning. Pruning means reducing something by removing things that are not necessary. Another meanings for pruning is grooming or trimming. Okay, let's continue. To spend too much time in studies is sloth. Spending too much time in studies makes one lazy in temperament. To use them too much for ornament is affectation. A person who makes too much use of reading is trying to make a needless or vain display of learning. Here it means false display of knowledge or false display of learning. To make judgment wholly by their rules is the humor of a scholar. Here it means that blind faith on bookish rules and principles spoils our inherent talent and judgmental power. If a man's judgment is governed only by the bookish rules without any practical outlook, it shows the eccentricity of a scholar. It shows his foolishness. This affectation or behavior should be avoided. It does not help you enhancing your thinking capacity. Everyone has natural abilities and studies make them perfect. They perfect nature and are perfected by experience. It means that along with studies, the experience is also required to gain perfection. It actually improves the mentality of a person. Experience is the key factor here. The author reiterates that bookish knowledge should be guided by experience of life. Practical experience helps us to apply them to real life situations. Simple people admire book learning, but wise men use studies and apply them to life situations. For natural abilities are like natural plants that need pruning by study, and studies themselves do give forth directions too much at large, except they be bounded in by experience. In order to elaborate it further, Bacon uses similes. Here we have a beautiful simile. Simile is a figure of speech comparing two unlike things that is often introduced by like or as. Here, natural abilities are compared to natural plants. Natural abilities are like natural plants. A beautiful simile is used here. Just as a plant that grows widely have to be pruned or trimmed in order to look beautiful, our natural abilities should have to be properly directed, guided, and shaped. Similarly, our natural abilities should have to be guided and shaped by studies so that they may be truly effective. In this part, Bacon says that studies are wonderful if they are all studies can point us in the right direction when we combine studies with experience. Then only we make the best use of both, study and practice. Think of a doctor who has only theoretical knowledge without practical experience. Can you consult him? Certainly not. Hence, studies show a person 1,000 ways to walk, but experience helps choosing the right one. Different people see studies differently. Some people do not give studies any value. Some appreciate them, but wise are those who perfectly use them.
Pruning. The word pruning means reducing something by removing things that are not necessary. Reducing something by removing things that are not necessary. Example, the government has decided to prune the budget. The government has decided to prune the budget. You can understand from the picture, a dead branch or withered branch is cut off from other green branches. The dead branch gives an ugly look to the whole picture. For natural abilities are like natural plants that need pruning by study. Bacon uses this wonderful word, pruning, to advise young people to hone their abilities to make them more effective by studies. Here, he shows the importance of studies to emphasize the importance of studies. Here again, you can understand from the picture. The withered flower, the withered rose flower, among other flowers, gives an ugly look. When it is removed from the scene, it gives a beautiful look. When it is removed from the scene, we have a beautiful glance, a beautiful look. Dear students, in the same way, we have to avoid the things which are not needed, which are not necessary in our life. Dear students, you are advised to read, study, learn, and to repeat as necessary. Self development is critical to your advancement. You must believe that you have ability in something. It may take some deep introspective meditation, but it is there. You have to look into yourselves. You have to identify. You have to find out what is your inner ability. Just take a flower, as it is seen in the picture. Take a flower and take away the withered leaves or petals that detract from its luster or brightness. And then you will have a beautiful, vibrant organism, or a beautiful flower, or a beautiful scene. You are the same, my student friend. Yes, you can all be beautiful flowers, really. The point is, find out what you have a natural inclination and natural ability to excel in. Master it through study and practice. This is the lesson that we have to learn from the word pruning. It's a beautiful expression here. Really, it's a beautiful expression by Francis Bacon. When we think of improving our lives, we tend to think of adding or changing something. But pruning your life's weak wood often helps more. Pruning can be the most likely way to make your life better and make your life the best one. Please check yourself. Please check what are the barriers to your self growth. What are the external forces that can slow you down while you are reaching your goal, your destination. Are you spending more time on screen? Check your screen time. Are you spending too much time with smartphone, on social media, mobile games or videos? Please check yourself. The barriers to self-growth and personal success are generally found within us. You have to find out them, and when you try to prune them out from your life, you will reach your goal. In order to setting your goals and working for reaching the goals, you have to make a list of your strengths and your weakness. Make a priority list. What are the things that you have to do first, and what are the things you have to do next? Make a priority list. Think, prioritize, and then act. Think, prioritize, and then act. Think about what is important. Prioritize your activities and then take action to reach your goal. Make your dreams come true with the help of studies. Bacon advises all the young people in particular and all the people in general, make your dreams come true with the help of studies. Try to avoid the things which are barriers in your way. Try to avoid the things that come across your way. Try to prune these things from your life. Try to prune the things which does not help anyway. I would like to give you a small list of things that you must prune from your life. The first one is fear. Avoid fear. The second one is avoid pride. We are well aware that pride goes before fall. So be humble always. Stop being indecisive. You have to use your sense of discretion. You have to use your sense of discretion while you are taking decisions. Stop being indecisive. Another important thing that you have to avoid or prune from your life is procrastination. Procrastination means delaying or postponing something. These are the few things that I would like to advise you to avoid from your life, that you have to prune from your life. I would like to remind you a beautiful quotation from Mark Twain. Mark Twain said, "The two most important days of your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why." Answering the question, why are you here, is the solution to your life. Only you can find the answer, nobody else. Only you are the person to answer this question. When you discover why are you here, you are inspired to fulfill it. You can fulfill your dreams. You will reach your goals. Delight. Delight means happiness or great pleasure. Delight is used as both noun and verb. When it is used as verb, to please someone greatly. Example for delight is, I read your letter with great delight. I am delighted to meet you. In this way, we can use the word delight in sentences. Discourse. The word discourse is used both as noun and verb. When it is used as noun, it means to say extended verbal expression in speech or writing. When it is used as verb, it means to say to consider or examine in speech or writing. Okay, friends, let us see the examples. He said nothing during my discourse. Another example is, the discourse between the two candidates has not been friendly. Discourse is an expression of thought through language. Normally, it is longer than sentences which deals with a certain subject. In other words, we can say performing an intellectual inquiry in a particular area or field, such as theological discourse. Theological means religious discourse, or cultural discourse, poetic discourse, and so on. According to Francis Bacon, study is also useful because it makes one able to discuss a variety of subjects in a skillful way, and more importantly, study allows one to convince others with the force of argument. The word the word sloth means laziness, unwilling to work or make any effort. Example for sloth and laziness are the chief reasons for one's failure in life. And the example is his sloth keeps him from taking part in sports. His sloth keeps him from taking part in sports. Sloth is actually an animal. It's a mammal. It is the slowest animal on earth. Sloth is the slowest animal on earth. Here you can see the image of sloth. While presenting negative aspects of too much reading, Bacon uses the word sloth. He says that to spend too much time in studies is sloth. He means to say that bookish knowledge is not enough. Experimental knowledge is essential for success in life. Real knowledge comes when you brush aside fantasies and sensuality, switching from the unreal to the real. Switching from unreal to the real. It means switching from words to actions. If you do not step forward, you will be always in the same place.